Hey everybody, this is me Ramar Karthik. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please go and subscribe. So guys, recently Loki series are releasing and making a bigger wave among MCU fans. So this video is regarding Loki post-credit scenes, and this video contains spoilers for episode 4 of Loki. So if you haven't watched episode 4 of Loki, please don't watch this video because there are many spoilers. So let's start with our video. So, despite only being the series' fourth episode, Loki rose to finale levels of excitement, reveals, and surprises in the Nexus event. Though the two had only just became acquainted, an unexpected romance blossomed between two Loki variants, Tom Hiddleston's and Sophia Di Martino's, which has certainly caused a stir among fans. Leading actor Hiddleston weighed in on the topic, explaining how the information of this relationship is truly about Loki learning to accept himself and all his flaws. Meanwhile, the timekeepers and the time variance authority that they oversee were ultimately revealed to be a farce, though the puppet master behind it all is still keeping their identity a mystery. In typical Marvel Cinematic Universe fashion, Loki managed to sneak in a post-credit scene to tease what's to come in the show in the final act, and a man out of time. After seemingly being vaporized by Ravonna Renslayer, pruning in episode's final moments, the Nexus event's post-credits stinger revealed that the God of Mischief had somehow avoided death once more. Loki woke up in an unknown location, questioning whether he had been transported to hell or if he is still alive at all. Luckily for Loki, an off-screen voice-over offers some answers. You will be dead unless you come with us. Seeking the source of these words, Loki turned to find a quartet clearly burdened with glorious purpose. Four other Loki variants were seen there. So we are going to see about each and every Loki. So the first Loki is boastful Loki. Boastful Loki, portrayed by D. Obia Opre, actor previously confirmed his involvement in the series and was in a brief moment from an early trailer, but it has finally been revealed that Opere is indeed playing a variant. The version of Loki seems to be the brawler of the bunch, sporting Asgardian battle armor and fur cloak. His appearance deviates heavily from the linear physique of Tom Hiddleston, being much bigger in stature. Boastful Loki's focus on raw strength could be explained by the makeshift hammer in his hands. Unlike his brother's more graceful weapon, uh, boastful Loki's hammer seems to be cobbled together with spare bolts, a wrench of handle, and a block of metal. This does seem to be deliberately mimicking Thor's own hammer, as indicating by the similar strap at the end of the contraption, which the god of thunder uses to fly with. Loki has wielded Thor's hammer many times in the comics and even claimed it for his own during an illusion or a delusion. And grandeur in a deleted scene from Thor Dark World. Perhaps this variant was deemed worthy of holding the Thor's hammer in his timeline, but was prevented from progressing further by the TVA, and the dejected and disappointed that he was robbed of what was owed to him, and he then may have taken it upon himself to get us shredded as his sibling and created his own hammer to compensate for his losses. Therefore, this variant may be boastful because he gloats about the fact that he was able to wield the Thor's hammer before his fall from grace, and other Lokis couldn't. And the next is about Kid Loki. So, so by his side is Kid Loki, as played by Jack Wheel, who mischievously teased that he would be appearing in the series beforehand. The variant's look is ripped straight out of the comics, adapting Kid Loki's short-horned winged helmet and gold chest emblem. In this pages of Marvel Comics, Kid Loki arrives as a resurrected version of his former self with no memories of his time as an adult. Given how wacky Loki has already been up to this point, it is entirely possible that this variant could be the result of the god of mischief managing to cheat death once again. Alternatively, this variant may have been plugged from his timeline at an early age, similarly to how Sylvie was. There is also a good chance that Loki may just prefer to stay in child form, using it as a means to aid his trickery or to save money on clothes shopping. The introduction of a child version of the God of Mischief also lends itself a young Avengers project that many fans are hoping for. Marvel Studios has already introduced a few kid heroes such as Ely Bradley and Tommy, and Billy Maximoff is set to introduce even more with Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, and America Chavez in the future. Kid Loki would be wildcard choice to join this uh, theoretical crew, undoubtedly bringing conflict and chaos. His younger version, a younger bunch of do-gooders, and the next version which we could witness in the post-credit scene was Crocodile Loki. With not all Lokis come in human form. Arguably, the most shocking member of this chaotic crew was a crocodilian version of the trickster god. The crocodile Loki is exactly what it says on the tin, a crocodile with a Loki helmet. While this transformation may seem like a bizarre avenue to go down, there is precedence of for Loki to take on animalistic appearances. Thor briefly describes a story where Loki had masqueraded as a serpent in Thor Ragnarok. So the story goes on like there was one time my brother transformed himself into a snake because he knows how much I like snakes, and I picked the snake up to admire it, but he turned back and went, "Ah, it's me," then stabbed me. So while his shapeshift was brief here, Loki may have gotten a taste of for the reptilian lifestyle. Becoming an animal does have its perks, after all, being free of all the responsibilities that come with adult life. What is perhaps even more exciting than a croc Loki is possible appearance of a frog Thor, that is Throg is a version of god of thunder that gained the powers of Thor after touching a fragment of Thor's hammer that broke off from the hammer. This became the amphibian's own version of the weapon, and would eventually join the Pet Avengers in the comics. The crocodile Loki may be strange on their own, but their appearance could signal even weirder things to come. And the next is classic Loki. Last but certainly not the least is Richard G. E. Grant's variant referred as Classic Loki, adorned in gaudy, comic accurate marvel of a costume based on the character's first Marvel Comics appearance. This version is much older incarnation of the character. The variant could be the chief of the mischief here, as he seems to be charge of this ragtag group. Given that he is much older and is based on the character's early costume, could it also be possible that this is the first Loki variant? His clothing is certainly bygone era, possibly hinting that Loki is pruned early on the days of Asgard, where this fit all the rage. This may be the gateway into mainline Loki learning more about just wherein or outside the nine realms he now find himself. And the brigades surround the Lokis with dilapidated buildings littering the skyline behind them. One skyscraper noticeably stands out, that being the ruins of Avengers Tower. This seems to take place in similar location previously released in a clip where a UFO and a pirate ship are being left to rot. This random assortment of objects may indicate that they have been pruned from the sacred timeline and left to waste in this landfill. Given that Loki was not smitten when he was pruned, that several historical rejects and relics have been dumped in this location, it is possible that this could be the MCU's version of Limbo. In the comics, Limbo was a pocket universe that existed outside the time stream and was ruled over by Immortus, the future version of Kang, the Conqueror. It is also possibly the home of Chronopolis, Kang's primary base of operations. The Timekeepers and their subsequent demise already hinted toward the time traveling villain's imminent arrival, but a trip to Limbo may indicate that Kang is on his way sooner than fans may have expected. Since Loki was sent here, does that mean Mobius could also be still alive? The duo finally seemed like they were on the same wavelength, only for this moment to be robbed by hostile Minutemen. It's possible that Loki could scoop his favorite TV agent up from this temporal wasteland and get him that jet ski ride that he's been craving. And I guess more variants yet to come, because if this version of the trickster god has been sent here, it is almost certain that Loki has more variants over the horizon. The version of Loki has been in several promo spots adorned again in his costume from the Avengers, as the Avenger Tower is present in the realm, and Tom Hiddleston's character is clearly inside the building in this scene. Could Loki return to where he suffered his greatest defeat? Alternatively, there may be another Loki housing himself in the wreckage, moping around as he contemplates his glorious purpose. The President Loki has been prominent, making part of the Disney Plus series. Marketing materials and evidence suggest that he could be appearing soon. The boastful Loki can be seen battling against this version of the God of Mischief, and is noticeably separate from the mainline Loki, as he is worriedly avoiding conflict in the background of the shot. Perhaps the President Loki is ruling a segment of Limbo, and Mischief gang needs an extra Loki to get the edge of this tyrannical variant. Other humans joining forces or being at odds with President Loki does suggest that and the other variant have been sent here as well. Jamie Alexander made a surprising return as Lady Sif in the Nexus event after the show's head creatives teased MCU cameos. But could there be an opportunity for more variant of Marvel characters to rear their heads? And the Infinity Stones from the series premiere hinted at several characters that could have been pruned and banished to limbo. So perhaps there is a chance that a discarded Mad Titan or a former Hydra leader could show up. And stuck in limbo, the stage is set for a grand and mischievous team up between a couple of trickster gods, allowing Loki to learn more himself and setting him on the path to reuniting with Sylvie. Learning about the machinations of the god of mischiefs has been one of the most compelling aspects of Loki as a series, and it will be thrilling to find out even more about what Loki and was and is and will be capable of. So that's it, people. If you want to see the last episode, please do go and watch in Disney Plus Hotstar. That is the episode 4. And thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.